Data entry and editing. How are we going to enter our data in our cells? We have explained how the cells work. As I've told us that the cell work with column and row, and all these column and row you are seeing, they are just a guide for you to work with. So we are going to be using our data to enter some data. So we are using our personal information data, which happens to be a student database. So let's start by entering. How do we enter? Click on the active cell. Let's start from our A1. For example, I'm writing my serial number. Type in capital letter serial number. You move with your right arrow key to go to the next tab and write first name. If you want, you go with your right arrow again to write your last name. Or you move with your tab. If you have your tab, then you select the sex, you select date of birth, you write home address, anyone that you think you can use, either right arrow or your tab, then you write telephone number. But if you want to move back to the left, you can't use your tab again. That is where we can make use of our left arrow key, or you use the right arrow key to move forward. Now, if I want to come down to my first alphabet, which is my column A1, I will press my enter key. It comes down because that was the last one I do. So you move with your left arrow key. If you want to go up, just press the up arrow key, it will go up. The down arrow key will do for you. If you want to move down, you can press your down arrow key, or you will use your enter button. So I'm going to write number 1. Let's give a name, Bayo. Last name, Adeolu, and is a male. Date of birth, home address. We are going to omit the column of the date of birth because I have a little explanation on that. Home address, number 3, Akinde Street, Mowe. Telephone number, I'm going to omit that for now. After my edition, we can go. Then you go with your enter key. It will go back to my serial number because I did not stop on the way. That's why it comes back to my serial number. Let me write another one for you so that I can explain. Foluke Daramola is a female, and address number 2, Taiwo Street, Lagos. Now, if I move back with any of my arrow and now press enter, it's going to press enter to the last place I move my arrow back. That is the difference between the first one. I'm moving from column A to column G without any stoppage on the road. Pressing enter will take you back to column A. But if you should stop along the road when you are working with your column, pressing enter key will take you to the back space you stop before you press enter. Then you move with your arrow key. With this, we can have as many names as possible. Just try to input some of the name right there wherever you are, and let us use that to work. So it go back again. I can have Shegun. I will be doing this now. So male, number 3 street. So Taiwo. Female, number 4 Ahmed Street. Now you will see that some of our work were hiding inside our column. That is because the space is not wide enough. So don't worry, your work is not lost. For you to know, go to your formula bar, click on any of the cells. Your formula bar will display the whole content, as I've told you earlier on in our previous class. How will you now show it to them? Just go to the column heading. That means where you have it, let your arrow change to a plus sign. Immediately the arrow change to your plus sign, click and hold down, then you drag to the right until you can see every of your work. If there is anyone that have, click there, let the arrow change to a plus sign. If it doesn't change to a plus sign, it will just highlight. So you have to click, make sure it changes to a plus sign. You move to the edge. Once you get this plus arrow sign, hold your button down, click on your left button if you are using your mouse, hold down and drag. Then you will have your omitting word that are missing. So that is, I hope we are clear on that one. Now let's go back to our date of the time, date of birth also. So, and our telephone number, it has moved from column G to column H, but it's under column G. Have you seen it? So you go back and each column will stand on its own. Now, back to our date of birth, I omitted it because we need to format this text, this particular column, so that it can give us date of birth. Should you make a mistake of inputting number, it will quickly correct you. How are we going to do that? Just make sure you highlight all your column. How do you highlight? Just make sure you go to your row heading, your column heading, let the arrow turn to this pointing arrow and click. Once you click, it's going to select all the columns. But should you not want to select all the columns, maybe you want to use only 10, just click there, click, hold your shift and drag down. This is where I want to format which. After this number 16, it go back to any number. But for our class, we are going to be formatting the whole page. When you have done that, you have your home bar. I don't want to go with shortcuts now. Let's click on our home bar. On the ribbon, you have what we call format. Have you seen it? Click on format, then click on format cells. Format cells. When you are there, you have seen number, general, number, accounting. We are going to date. Click on the date. When you are on the date, select any of the date formats you want. You could say, for instance, let me select this and click OK. That's all. Now, when you are entering your date on Excel, you start with the month. If the month is May, it's 05, and the day is 12, that is 12, and the year 2000, then it gives me 12th May 00. You have 04, that is the month. Then you go to the May, that is 024, then 2022. Do you see? Automatically it will change. That is how we edit our column for date of birth. 05, that is month, the day is 23, and the year is 1999. Do you see? But if you should enter the day first, you enter, let me use the day of 15, and you enter the month of 10, and you enter the year 1998, it will not take any effect, because you start with the day. On Excel, you have to start with the month. Month is September of 3rd of September, year 2000. That is what it will be. I believe we are clear with this one. This one too is September 2, 2003. That is our date. Now, coming to our telephone number, we need to format this telephone so that it can accept the 0, because Excel does not automatically accept 0 as a starting figure. Let me write 08023456789, and you press enter. The 0 will automatically disappear because it is not a starting digit. So how are we going to do it? Just the same way you format your date of birth. Just make sure you are there, click on it, select all the columns together, then go back to your home bar on your format button, on your format ribbon, then you click format cell. What are we going to use? We can't use number, we can't use currency, we are going to use text. Let it return my text the way I enter it. That is the meaning of your text format. It is being treated as text. Now any number you input will be there. For example, 090289345667. Enter. Your number remain like that. Without this format, you may not be able to get your 0 before your number. Do that for the rest of the class, then take a look to practice on your own. Then I want to write number 1 to 20. I have written number 1 and 2. I don't need to be writing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as many as so on, because there is any possibility that I have like 1000 number to enter. Will I continue to enter? No. That is why we have the autofill for Excel. Enter the number 1 and number 2. When you enter number 1 and number 2, now Select the two together. How do I highlight the two together? Now, to autofill your number, as I've said earlier on that using our autofill, we use it for serial number or anything that you just want to go sequentially from number 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't use it for name because you don't want to be having repetition of name. How will you autofill? Select your first number and your second number. Click and drag down to highlight the two together. Then, when you are done that, move with your mouse to the edge of the number 2 that you have until you have a plus sign. Immediately you get to this plus sign, hold down your button, that is your left clicking button if you are using mouse, then you drag down to the number you want. The Excel automatically give you all the numbers that you want. And that is how we do autofill for our numbering. So you don't need to be inputting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just autofill. We can also use this autofill when you are having a calculation. You want to do some calculations, insert your formula into one, then autofill for the remaining names, and that is just all. So the next class we'll be talking about inserting of our notes and comments.